For me, I am someone who literally was born into this. I am a child of immigrant parents who literally rode the bus with me. So I have that experience of being someone who relies on public transportation at a very young age. I then transitioned to a school bus. So that was another mode for me to really expand opportunities, especially around education. And then later on, really was interested in urban planning and really thinking about how transportation is that thread that connects communities to places of work, and as well connects people with each other. So that's really how this all started for me, and so super excited about more work to be done in this space of transportation and mobility. There's so many. I literally wish I could just tell you there was one, but there's a number of different trends. I'd say right now the exciting part is around charging infrastructure. I think this is a really important conversation. I do own an EV, and so charging infrastructure is important not only to me, but as we think about the future of electrification, that will be a question that most people are going to be asking. They're ready and they're excited to adopt new modes, especially around e-mobility or e-vehicles, all the way to thinking about multi-unit dwellings and really making sure that people who live in dense areas also still have access to charging as well, and rural areas. So it's not just about urban versus rural, it's really how do we think about this as a full network and ecosystem around charging. I think it starts with access, right? We have to, one, take an inventory of how people are moving right now. If the dominant mode in which people are moving is just our personal or private vehicles, we have to think about other modes as well. So how can we complement public transportation that can be complemented into that full network? That's where we start to talk about equity. That's about looking at communities that have been traditionally underserved and really being intentional. Are we putting EV charging infrastructure in those locations? Are we thinking about bringing new technologies and services to those particular areas? Equity is not just looking throughout the state and putting one solution here and one solution. It has to be a unified approach, and we have to think about this in its totality. This is going to be very important. So I think about the jobs that are going to be associated with this, and how do we continue to expand job opportunities for those in the automotive to transition to broader mobility. At the end of the day, I think that's a big charge. I am excited that this is a conversation that we're even bringing up topics like equity, because I think you can't really have a transportation system that's literally on this change, and we're in this like period of revolution and renaissance when we talk about mobility. And so now that we have this momentum, let's be very intentional about incorporating equity into this broader conversation.